Our first exercise in OWL, the Online Writing Lab, is an important one, and I'm going to walk through the step-by-step instructions with you. This is very important, and I expect everyone to do well on this. Generally, students do. So let's have some fun. Here we are at our syllabus, and let's scroll down alphabetically to prerequisite skills. As you remember, these skills are all required to have mastered prior to taking this course. So I want you to look at this list, and if you're anything like me, you look at that list and you think, oh my gosh, what? So, as you look over this list, rather than going into a brainstorm over it, I want you to think, well, that makes sense. I know how to limit a topic, or maybe I don't. But no matter what it is on this list that you don't quite understand or that you need to brush up your skills on, that's just fine. We have plenty of time this semester, so we've got time to do this. So find something that is a question for you. Perhaps this one comes as something that you just kind of need to refresh your memory on. All right? So let's go over to YouTube and just type in how to, right, and then see what comes up. And when those come up, you're going to find some tutorials offered by people, and some of them you'll like, some of them that you don't necessarily like. There are some, this guy's good, but he's always pointing at that whiteboard, and that may not bother you. It kind of bothers me just a little bit. But find one of these tutorials that helps you understand that. Let's say that we like this guy, and we want to latch on to what he's got. He's very friendly and personable. All right, so let's click on it. Okay, so I clicked on his little tutorial, and I'm going to watch that. And I'm going to take notes, and I'm going to learn whatever it is that I needed to learn. Now I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to copy the URL. And I'm going to teach you today how to document a works cited page. Brilliant! How fun is that? So now we're going to go over to my favorite website together, and it's called EasyBib.com. Let's go there together. EasyBib is a free resource, and it is a situation where you will sign up for free. You might want to use your student account, whatever you want to do, and then you'll sign in. I'm going to go ahead and sign into my account. When I sign in, I'm going to be taken to my projects. And this is where, whenever I add a citation, which is going to document that same little URL we just visited, then I'm going to make sure that everything stays in the correct projects. Oh my gosh, just look at all my projects. Can you imagine? All those citations are all over the place. So creating a project enables whatever I'm entering to stay in that project. So I'm going to create a project right now, and I'm going to create one for this first OWL exercise. So as you can see, this opened up my OWL exercise. I'm going to click on that, and remember that page we just visited in YouTube. I'm going to create that citation, and it's going to add that to my OWL exercise. And it is just this simple. We're going to be, right, and I'm going to paste that URL where we just were, remember? Now I'm going to let it search for it. It's going to think for a minute, and then it's going to find that tutorial that we just watched. I'm going to click Cite It. It's going to think a minute, and I'm going to click Continue unless there's something I needed to add. And then it's going to bring up some boxes asking me if I needed to add anything more. For this particular exercise, we won't need to. But later on, when you're working on essays and so forth, you would want to put in an article title and so forth. So for now, for this first situation, we're fine. So we're going to complete the citation, and it's going to add it to a list. You see it? Now, I'm going to do 5 of these. There are going to be 5 of those skills in the prerequisite skill list that I want to learn more about. This is a learning curve, folks, and this is the beginning of the course. This is the beginning of the learning curve. I want you to embrace it just like you were riding a motorcycle and leaning into the curve. Just learn. You can learn. You're brilliant. So think about what you need to brush up on, and let's and do that. All right. Now, when I have finished, let's go ahead and do a couple of other citations. I'll be right back. I'm back on YouTube, and this is one of the most common questions that I see students begin the semester with every single semester, and that is how to write a thesis sentence. It's a problem for just about everybody. So if it's a problem for you, you're in good company. Just check this. There are some really good tutorials on this. And as I look down the list, there's one guy that I think really does a good job of explaining things. Let me see if I can find him. I'll be right back. This guy. His tutorials are short, they're to the point, he doesn't ramble, and he talks directly to you. So I recommend this guy. Let's say that we look on that one, just like we did before.
What are the most common types of academic essay?
We're going to go up here, just like we did before. We're going to copy that URL, go back to our EasyBib page, right? We're going to add a new citation here, aren't we? Right? See that? And we're going to just simply paste it. Then we click search and we let EasyBib think for a minute. And then it's going to find it and we cite it. After we cite it, we continue. It's going to ask for other information. Remember this for later. When you're writing an essay paper, when you're writing one of the formal essays, you would want to add the title, you'd want to add the person's name. But for now, for this very first exercise, this is good enough. All right? Complete the citation. And now I have 2 citations on my list, don't I? See them? More stuff pops up on this site. And if you all can figure out how to not have that happen, ugh. All right, now I'm going to have others after that. Let's say I'm all through with my citations. What do I need to do? Well, I'm going to click each one of the items. I'm going to click Export, and I'm going to click Word Document. Do not click Google Document. It will always mess it up. We're going to print this as a Word doc. We're going to wait, and it's going to open that Word document in our tray. We open it, and there it is. Once we have that opened, then we would click Enable Editing, and we would copy and we would paste this into our document. For this first OWL exercise, of course, this will be your document, but you have to remember to put your name. We're going to enable editing. Remember back up here where we enable editing? And you're, of course, going to have 5 of these, but we're going to put our name and course and information. And we remember that we need to put our name, course information, date, and the word count. To do the word count, we click this, copy, right? We just click these, and then screw it up here in the Word document and go to Review, and that will let us see the word count. And once we see the word count, words, 8, then we close it, and we would put the word count there. Now again, you will have 5 of these titles, and I expect you to have studied those because you're going to be responsible for that. Now, I want to say this in a really wonderful way because you are brilliant, and my job is to show you how brilliant you are. But if you put down on here that you looked at a YouTube tutorial that covered thesis statements, and then you turn in something to me that doesn't even have anything that resembles a thesis statement, I'm going to ask you why you didn't learn from that when you studied that tutorial. So be sure you study. Use the Writing Center. Use all the other tools that are available to you free on campus. And make sure that you study this and that you learn. All right? So let's think of this as the first step on our journey. And we don't want to get stuck with problems with the ability to write a sentence, to write a paragraph. These are prerequisite skills. This is not a beginning basics writing course. This is an advanced course. That doesn't mean that you can't catch up. You completely can. And I want you to. And I want you to enjoy those tutorials. It's a wonderful resource. Turn in this document. You will save it as a PDF. And as with everything else in this course, you will always submit a PDF, except in those rare occasions where it's a text document. And then you'll know because when you click on the Submit Here button, it will bring up a proper box. But for this one, you would go back and you would save that Word document that we created, You would save it as a PDF, and then you would submit the PDF after you've added your name, course information, date, and word count. Because if those items are not on a document, it cannot receive a grade. Obviously, you can imagine the hundreds of thousands of documents that are submitted to the campus every day. Imagine. And if I have something in there without a name on it, I cannot assign a grade to it. So we want to make sure that. Review that in the syllabus. All right, that concludes this tutorial on OWL first exercise.